Man, I tried recording a video. Um, I need this mic to pick up my voice because it was kind of low. Look, I wrote this book not too long ago, about a year ago. It's called The Other Side of Thought. Poetic reflections on the nature of mind, man, and manifestation. What I spoke on the other video that I wanted to touch on, because that was very important, was that society is failing the deep sovereign individual. I feel like anybody that has a deep sense of liberty within them has no way to work in a world that is made for the grind, made for the hustle, made for the dollars, made for the fighting for the place under the sun. I feel like it's not even that we're lazy. I feel like that the system itself isn't built for everybody. And that's okay. That's we'd have to work our way around it. Here, let me read some of these poems, so you can get a sense of what I talk about, what I'm preaching. So I'm like a non. You can consider me like a non-dualist. This poem that I'm about to read you. By the way, I opened to a random page. It doesn't matter. This poem I'm about to read you is. It doesn't have a title. None of them have titles. They're standalone poems. They're kind of like very short stanzas. Um, but listen to this poem. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna explain it at the end. The poems that I read. Play the game, but don't lose yourself in it. Chase the music, but hold your sound. For the purest symphony of self is found. In a world of shifting ideas and aims, tame the noise and light your flame. For the embers of originality spark your name. So groove freely in truth. It never echoes shame. Man, I think authenticity is one of the world's greatest qualities, and I feel like nowadays everybody's doing it for the likes, the clicks, the comments. It's very hard to find the authenticity in videos, you know? I'm man, I'm guilty of that because I have, if you can check my channel, I'm guilty of looking for the likes, looking for the comments, looking for the attention. And that robs the individual of their authenticity. And I feel like in a world of shifting ideas and aims, tame the noise and light your flame. That doesn't mean you have to neglect all the that doesn't mean you have to neglect all the ideas, the aims, the goals that you can set yourself. Just know what's true for you and tame that and tailor it towards you. Because the embers of that flame, if you tame the noise and light your flame, the embers of originality will spark your name. And so it says, groove freely in truth. It never echoes shame. And I feel like the shameless are the real sovereign individuals. Not the shameless that you can kill somebody and not feel ashamed of it. Just the shamelessness of being yourself and not feeling ashamed. Because if there were if there were a crowd of 100 people all pointing a finger at somebody, at, let's say you or me, and they're like, you suck, da da da. That Okay, let me be honest with you, that doesn't get me ticked off. What gets me ticked off is people talking shit behind my back. Friends, family, people that you talk to on a regular basis. They talk shit behind your back and they don't admit it. And that's what kind of ticks me off. But let's move on to the next poem so this video doesn't get too long-winded. Let me find a good one. Okay, look at this one. This one's a little more visionary. A future without a soul, a mind left on parole. Technology tightens its noose on our smarts while longing tugs at our hearts. Go now, untie the knots. For thoughts are free to dance, and emotions are free to advance. Let them shine in sweet romance as we create and align the world of free souls in our hands. So, a future without a soul, that just says what I spoke about before, is that authenticity is taken by attention seeking, the likes, the comments. Um, Authenticity is taken away by a lot of things, the need for approval, all of these things. And then a mind left on parole. The mind and its creativity is left on parole based on the rigid structures that society places on it in order for it to achieve goals. You know, it says that to achieve a goal, you have to think in a certain way. You have to be creative this way. You can't be yourself. So that's why I say a future without a soul and a mind left on parole. So we're just waiting for that moment for a new realization for life to bring a future. And then it says technology tightens its noose on our smarts. So that's self-explanatory. Technology tightens its noose on our smarts while longing tugs at our hearts. So the longing for freedom, the longing for truth, that tugs at our hearts. And then technology is what tightens the noose on our smarts, you know? So go now, untie the knots. Untie the knots between heart and mind. For thoughts are free to advance and emotions are free to advance. For thoughts are free to dance and emotions are free to advance. Let them shine in sweet romance as we create and align the world of free souls in our hands. Man, I'm kind of surprised at my own writing sometimes. This one's I don't want to get this video too long-winded. It's already 7 minutes. I'll do one more and then I'll post more videos if you're interested. It says, our authenticity is hidden in plain sight, concealed behind the veil of stereotypes so bright their light blurs our eyes. Yet, through the transparency of these facades, our true self cannot hide. Like unknown fingerprints on a pane of glass during war, as if we were soldiers bearing the weight of a battle on our shoulders, but the fighting is over. We see clearly when we set the glass down, as the dust subsides and the dirt hits the ground. I stop and stare, gazing at each and every crown. This one's completely about authenticity. Um, First, it says, our authenticity is hidden in plain sight, concealed behind the veil of stereotypes so bright. So, stereotypes are what holds people's authenticity within, I don't know, within a cage, man. And it says their light blurs our eyes. So stereotypes, so concealed behind the stereotype. So this is very fucking actually poetic. Our authenticity is hidden, and I'm surprised at myself because I haven't read this. I haven't read this in a long time. So it says our authenticity is hidden in plain sight, concealed behind the veil of stereotypes so bright their light blurs our eyes. Yet through the transparency of these facades, our true self cannot hide. I don't even know how to explain this because poetry sometimes is unexplainable, man. But you just get it. Like unknown fingerprints on a pane of glass during war, as if we were soldiers bearing the weight of the battle on our shoulders. But the fighting is over. We see clearly when we set the glass down. As the dust subsides and the dirt hits the ground, I stop and stare, gazing at each and every crown. So this is pretty much when we let go of the when we let go of the battle of the likes, the clicks, whatever. When we let go of the battle of I'm not even gonna dim it down. I'm not even gonna dumb it down to likes and dislikes. This is way deeper than likes and dislikes. This is more about man, just trying to fit into a society that cannot bear the weight of authenticity. So as we let go and set the glass down, the glass is full of fingerprints from soldiers as if we were in war. That's what this is saying. As the dust subsides and hits the ground, I stop and stare, gazing at each and every crown. What do we fight for? We all fight for a crown. But as soon as we stop fighting and we look around, each of us have a different sense. Even each of us have a different meaning for the word of the crown. But we can appreciate each and every crown as they come. We can each appreciate the kings and queens of reality. This video is already 10 minutes, so it's a little long-winded. I appreciate your time. I appreciate the effort. If you're interested in the book, it's called The Other Side of Thought. It doesn't have this cover. I changed the cover. Um, it's Poetic Reflections on the Nature of Mind, the Manifestation, The Other Side of Thoughts. If you want to help me out, you can help me out. We need to bring more sovereignty into the individuals that are that are feeling free internally, but bound by the system. So let me know what you guys think about the poem. I'm out of here, yeah?